Don't change my mood now. Please.
So do you want me to pretend then? Do you want me to pretend like it's okay and then just go with you?
You feel happy now.
But I don't.
Don't have emotions, Tigerlily. Don't be sad. Don't be upset. Just be happy. Keep smiling. That is what a good wife does. I mean, come on, give it a rest, Adnan. He treats Tigerlily as if she isn't a real human, and then he love bombs her. But how long can this possibly last?
This is the first time I feel someone I love her and my heart's breaking. I'm with you forever, don't worry.
Forever is a very, very long time. But before we get to that, let's rewind to the start. So we left Tigerlily finally taking a stand. She finally confronted Adnan about his hypocritical rules. She'd well and truly had enough of his double standards. And having slammed the car door and walked out, we join her in this episode with Adnan's eldest brother chasing after her.
Don't cry, please. For thickness.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know if he thinks that he has different rules than me, if he can
No,
do that.
it's rules, you and him. Adnan, we love you.
Tigerlily cries in frustration, and while we have mocked her for her haste in marrying a man whose culture and religion, whose traditions and rules she doesn't know anything about, the truth is she has been trying her best to follow these unknown rules. It's just a shame that Adnan doesn't appear to be doing the same himself. Like, Tigerlily just can't make heads or tails of it. She has no idea why she can't be alone in a room with a male, even one of her best friends. And yet Adnan, well, he's free to touch another man's wife. It just doesn't add up.
I've been completely open to changing my entire life. He just thinks that the rules don't apply to him. If he's not following them, I'm not going to follow them.
Adnan's brother feels the need to remind Tigerlily that Adnan does really love her, which I guess is a relief considering they've only just got married. But I don't think that is what's in question here. Now, I don't know about you, I can only speak for myself, but if that was my wife in tears, walking away, I'd be running after her, trying to find out what I could do to make things right. But clearly that isn't Adnan's style. He prefers to casually saunter over, proceed to wrap Tigerlily's head with a headscarf, and then instead of apologise or try to discuss the issue, he tells her, or rather he instructs her, not to kill his mood and that they are gonna have fun.
Don't change my mood now. Please.
So do you want me to pretend then? Do you want me to pretend like it's okay and then just go with you?
You feel happy now.
But I don't.
I mean, the sheer audacity of the guy. It takes a lot for a man to tell his wife who's crying not to kill his vibe. It's as if he expects her to just flip a switch and suddenly become happy again. But I'm sorry, that's really dehumanising. That's not how people work, Adnan. She's not a doll. And it's left to Tigerlily to try and get across her point of view, to try and make him understand why it is that she's so upset.
Do you see how it's like hypocritical? Like for me, you're telling me things and then like you do it?
Yeah. You accept my apologies or not?
Adnan, we didn't actually hear you apologise. The words, "I'm sorry," didn't escape your lips, so exactly what apology do you want her to accept? All that Adnan has actually done is nod his head and quickly agree with her in order to try and get this out of the way.
You're telling me things and then like you do it?
Yeah.
This isn't solving anything. They're not even discussing the reasons why they're upset. And remember, they are both upset. Adnan is also pissed off with Tigerlily. Her behaviour is unbecoming of what he expects of a Jordanian wife, even though of course she isn't Jordanian. Now, either way, Tigerlily does eventually accept Adnan's apology. And with that, Adnan expects her to drop her attitude immediately, to which Tigerlily complies. But she does issue a warning.
I have accepted Adnan's apology to get through the day but this conversation is definitely not over.
We'll have so fun there, baby.
I can't quite decide if this is mature of Tigerlily to shelve this conversation for later and not ruin the day, or if she's being a total pushover. But for now, the pair, the entire group, go on to admire one of the 7 wonders of the world, Petra, and it looks spectacular. And it's while taking a camel ride that we learn this is something Tigerlily is apparently a huge fan of.
It was amazing to ride the camels with their little outfit on and their long lashes. I really like riding anything.
Sometimes when Tigerlily speaks, I feel like I'm losing my brain cells just by listening to her. Honestly, you've got to wonder what goes on in that head of hers. Now, while she might be all too happy to play happy families, her friends, her glam squad, haven't quite forgotten her fight with Adnan as quickly as she seems to have. In fact, Shay and Cruz are utterly baffled at the way that she's now acting.
I'm taken back a little bit. Earlier, she was like really standing up for herself, but then they just put a pin in it and they're gonna sweep it underneath the rug.
As 2 of her oldest and closest friends, I think Shay and Cruz's alarm, their disbelief at what's happening, is very striking. They seem genuinely concerned at the fact that these 2 aren't figuring out the big issues in their relationship while they're still together face to face before Tigerlily goes back to the States. Keep in mind, this is only a fleeting visit to Jordan. Tigerlily and the Glam Squad are due to go back tomorrow. And the question is, where will that leave their relationship? These massive issues aren't going to get easier to navigate from thousands of miles apart. And it's this point that Shay tries to raise with the pair on the car ride back home.
What happens whenever you go back to the States and you guys aren't physically with one another again? That could potentially cause some static.
Shay's just trying to be a good friend, right? She's just trying to prepare them both for what's about to come. But, granted, perhaps her timing isn't quite right. This is, after all, their last day together, the last night of their honeymoon. Still, I respect what she's doing. She's being a good friend. Now, she tries to bring to the table one of the big issues that these 2 haven't really discussed at all. The issue of their future together. What life is going to be like if and when Adnan moves to the States.
Adnan coming to the States and then being homesick away from his friends and family, because that seems to be very important to him.
Those are valid points. They're points we know that they haven't discussed. But, again, timing. It's a little late for this conversation now, isn't it? These are the sort of things that they should have discussed prior to getting married. And right now, today, the last day that they have together, Adnan doesn't want her ruining his vibe. In fact, he's getting really irritated at Shay.
Why they do that? It's make me nervous because I don't know what they going to say when I'm not there in the US.
Adnan's worried that Shay and Cruz are going to be whispering in Tigerlily's ear behind his back. But I think he should be less concerned about the Glam Squad and more concerned about building a solid foundation of trust with his wife. Sorry, but the fight at Petra wasn't exactly a good start. The very foundation upon which they're building this relationship is wobbly at best. And that's something that Tigerlily herself knows, but doesn't really want to acknowledge.
Cruz and Shay are bringing up all sorts of problems that may come up. This is our last night here together, and it's not something I'm trying to think about.
It's crazy, isn't it? Tigerlily knows that there are cracks in their relationship, but she's deliberately choosing to turn a blind eye. She tells Shay and Cruz that she's hoping the love that she and Adnan have will be enough to overcome any obstacle that comes in their way. Their love will prevail everything, she hopes. But clearly she hasn't learnt her lessons from the past, has she? As someone who's been married in the past, surely she should know better than anyone that the love you have at the start of a marriage can change. Still, now that they're back in their hotel room, it suddenly dawns on the married couple that this will be their last night together for the foreseeable future.
Don't worry. Just we need the way. We don't have choice, okay?
Okay.
Forgive me for being surprised, but with all of this talk of gender roles and expectations of men and women in Jordan, I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised, to see that it's Adnan who's the one that's getting emotional here. Now, Tigerlily tries to console him. She kind of awkwardly rambles on about how, when she goes back to the States, she'll begin organising the home that he'll eventually join her in. But it's that, the whole unknown element of all of this, not knowing how long it will take for him to get his visa to come to the States, or even knowing how his life will be once he gets to the States, that seems to tip Adnan over the edge. And as he begins to tear up, that then also causes Tigerlily to begin crying.
This is the first time I feel someone I love her and my heart's breaking. I'm with you forever, don't worry.
Look, it's sad, but it's also silly. These two themselves admit that they put themselves in this position. In their crazy rush to get married on the first day of meeting, neither of them put any thought into Adnan's spousal visa. Yeah, they've only just applied for it. It's going to take months and months to get him over to the States. It'll be interesting to see how their marriage can cope long distance without the rules being clear or any of their already mounting issues actually being addressed.